Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And I just want to say thank you to all my subscribers that have been leaving comments and suggestions on my other videos. Again, I really do appreciate it. What I'm going to do right now is a brief video on some of the blades I'm going to be carrying in my Get Home bag. Some of you have seen the video on the Get Home bag that I'm putting together. I'm getting ready to do my next video, and I thought instead of going over the details of all the knives in that video, I would save the time and just do a brief one right now, so I can just breeze over it when I put that post up. So that's what I'm going to do here. Let me address what's probably jumping out at you the most right now, and that's this wooden practice tanto. No, I'm not going to be carrying this as part of my bag. This is just representing the fixed blade knife that I'm going to be carrying. Instead of going with like a military style K-bar or fighting knife, I'm going to stick with what I know. Anytime we do any kind of weapons work with my martial art class, this is the style knife we use. I'm very comfortable with it. I'm familiar with it. I know how to use them offensively and defensively. I know how to do takeaways with them and all that kind of stuff. So instead of going with a K-bar style knife or a marine style fighting knife, this is what I'm going to go with. I have one on order from the same company that I got my Practice Ido from, and as soon as I get that, I'll try to get a video put together on it and get it posted for you, all right? Next, I want to say thanks to Nut and Fancy. He put up a video on this. It's a Gerber utility knife, and this is something that can be used for any situation where you don't want to ruin or dull the blade on your good knives or something like that. It's very small, it's very light, and you can just replace the razor blades with it. And again, I just want to thank him for putting that video up. I would have never known about this. It's only 10 bucks. If you lose it or break it, it's no big deal, and you're saving a lot of wear and tear on some of your other knives. So that's definitely going to be a part of my Get Home bag right there. Okay, as far as my multi-tool goes, in my other video, in my EDC, I have an older style Gerber where you have to pull the pliers out to get to the blades, and I never really liked that. So I found a Gerber suspension, and I like this, that I don't have to open it up to get any of the blades or any of the tools out. I can keep it closed, and I can access any of the stuff. And that's what I really like about this. When I want to deploy the pliers, it's right there. And for 24 bucks, like I said, you can't go wrong for the usage it's going to get. I think it's a good addition to my bag, and it doesn't weigh that much. My everyday carry knife. This is not going to be so much a part of the bag, but this is on me all the time, so I just thought I would include that in the video. This is my Kershaw Cyclone. I looked at the mini Cyclone. I thought that this was going to be a little bit big for an everyday carry knife, but I have very small hands. And the mini Cyclone was a little bit too small. And why I felt that is, if I ever had to use this knife, God forbid, in any kind of less lethal or non-lethal application, I like the fact that I have material sticking out of both sides of my hands. And that is where I can use it if I want to do any kind of blunt strike or anything like that. With the material sticking out here, I can go with any kind of ski punch or something like that, and I can go for the solar plexus, the sternum, or I can go for the throat with that. And with the material that's sticking out the back, if we had to do any kind of cross strike and then come back with blunt force, I have something sticking out there. So that's what I liked about this. And it also fits in your hand the way, you know, some of you have probably seen where a guy holds onto a, you know, a roll of quarters or dimes or something like that. And the way that it fits in my hand is, if I was to do any kind of strike, I don't think I would do any damage to my hand. So that's why I went with the full size. It is a little bit bigger than what I would want to carry, but I'm really getting used to it. As far as deploying the blade, everybody knows about the Kershaw assistance right there. In the reverse grip, I still have enough material sticking out the back if I want to do any kind of less lethal or blunt strike. That's what I like about that, and it's working out to be a really good knife for me. I did try it with the clip on this side, and I went back to the original factory way that they had it. It just didn't feel right, and it took a little bit of getting used to, but the one hand closing, pretty simple, so I'm liking that. Picked this up over the weekend. I took a fast road trip down to Tennessee, and I was able to stop at Cabela's in Pennsylvania on the way down. My buddy Ryan did a review on this, so I'm not going to get technical with it. It's just a Gerber exchanger blade. When I got down to Tennessee, I took a couple of little saplings down with it, and it's a great little tool. It was only 20 bucks. It weighs next to nothing. It doesn't take up that much room in my pack, and I think it's a great addition. So thanks, Ryan, for doing the video on this. As far as my survival knife goes, I have a Kershaw Outcast, and I picked this up about a month ago. And this is replacing my Gerber BMF that I had for about 18 years. And I really like this knife. I've taken it out into the field, I've beaten it up a little bit, and it comes back for more, and I'll show you the knife that it's replacing. But I'm not going to say anything negative or bad about the Gerber, but I was thinking about selling it a couple of months ago. And a couple of guys on the Zombie Squad message board and also a couple of guys on the Glock message board told me that it's pretty much a collector's item now and you might want to hold on to it. But the reason that I'm retiring it, and let me bring it in here, this is the Gerber BMF. And I've seen this knife going on eBay for anywhere from about 75 to 200 bucks. And like I said, I was thinking about selling it, and I'm kind of glad that the guys talked me into keeping it. But one of the reasons that I never really took this knife out that much was I always felt that the tip just came to too fine of a point, and I was always afraid that I might break it. Now, that could be my fault, but what I wouldn't want to do is I wouldn't want to be working and jam it into a log or something like that and it put any kind of lateral movement on it and break that tip off. So it was getting to the point where I wanted to retire this knife, and I'm glad that Ryan did the video on the Outcast, because that's what I decided to replace this with. So what this is going to be right now is I'm just going to, put this thing away, and it's just going to be a nice little keepsake. And I don't know if the day ever comes, if somebody makes me the right offer, maybe I'll sell it, but I don't think it's going to happen. So, all right. So that's pretty much going to be the blades that I'm going to have in my get home bag. And again, I just want to say thanks to you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And I hope everybody has a good holiday. Take care, man. Bye.